Hello, Meoni here, and today I thought I'd hop down to the Wolf's Den Pier to talk about the Stormblood PvP changes and additions in the expansion. This is an area we haven't really looked into yet, due to the amount of content in the rest of the game, so let's have a look. Firstly, the biggest change is that PvP is now queuable regardless of type, including ranked PvP from level 30 in any job in the game. This is a step towards Director Yoshida's vision of making PvP more esport friendly. Amongst many other changes, the biggest has to be the accessibility to other jobs dependent on setup per season, and this change makes a valid jump in that direction, which was sorely needed for PvP to advance. Next up, we have the balancing of health pools dependent on role. Tanks are now the only roles that will have slightly more health than any other player, with healers and DPS now having a static set amount of health, with gear no longer having any impact whatsoever on the character you play when you're in a PvP zone. Gear is now cosmetic, much like it is in Palace of the Dead. You could queue completely naked with no penalty and still be able to do what you would normally do, which again makes a huge step towards tactical play and balance rather than having base value adjustments around gear. This is just one of the many reasons it has been a massive conversion for me. Personally, I couldn't get into PvP prior to Stormblood, but now with the skill gap being much closer, it's much more enjoyable. Abilities are completely different in PvP as well, with a new PvP hotbar replacing your usual bars whenever you enter a PvP zone, including that of the Wolf's Den Pier. These abilities are stripped down and cover only the basics of your role. At first, this can feel quite odd as each ability is completely different. For example, for a healer, Protect is now a few second buff to yourself and is a cooldown, whereas outside PvP it's obviously a PvE staple of dungeons and raids with damage mitigation. To further emphasize people trying out the new PvP, the AXP rewards are massive. A level 61 character, for example, will get roughly in the ballpark of 600,000 experience per match. This is regardless of win or loss, so it is a very reliable way of leveling your alt classes and getting to try out what is now a very competitive PvP scene, with the tables constantly turning in average matches. Additionally, with Stormblood, we got access to brand new gear sets for all roles. If you haven't seen these are obviously now only cosmetic due to stats not being used in PvP and everyone scaled the same way. However, you should seriously check them out if you have time. Look over at the Wolf's Den Pier. The vendors inside the building have changed, they now have a Stormblood option. Some of the sets look cooler than others, obviously, and with the emphasis on the new scaling system, it's really nice to see that they're still up for giving us lovely glamour options as rewards, instead of where another developer may just have taken them out due to their uselessness thanks to the new scaling system. So hats off to Square for carrying on with these rewards. People love this glamour, keep it up. All in all, the PvP modes are much more enjoyable, personally I feel. Let me know below if you got to try them out yet. And would you be behind Square Enix if they further pursued an esports direction with the PvP in this game, or are you fairly skeptical? Personally, I think this is a fine and healthy direction for the game, as long as the PvE, which is the main focus in my opinion in 14, stays the same quality and doesn't suffer development time setbacks for PvP inclusions. Either way, thank you kindly for watching. This video and many more on Stormblood can be found on my channel, which if you feel like supporting, please consider a subscription. It really helps a great deal. Thank you very much, and I will definitely see you next time.